Hi, so today I'm going to show you some particle effects like this. So when I press the arrow key here, you can see some particles that are generated from different points and go into different directions. Okay, how these are done, you see that I've got something like uh, more particles here. Perhaps I don't need them to have a name. For example, here I can, because they are into a list. And so, okay, that's how they are. So here you see these particles are generated with this class that is particles. It's this one. I'll show you later. First, I'm gonna show you how I can generate each one of these 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 particles generated in different directions. So I got the first one is generated at this point and goes in direction up, and it's red. The second one has the same origin, goes down, and it's green. Then there is the third one that it's here and it's yellow. This fourth one goes in all direction because there is all, and then you see the other one up and down. And the last four here got this sparse argument to 1. And so let's see again them. You see here, this goes in direction up. Another one has the same origin point, but a different color and a different direction. And another one has a different position, starting position. This one has the all parameter here, so goes in all directions. This one goes down, this one goes up, this one is sparse equal 1. You see that it hasn't the same the origin in just one point, but in one line here can be randomly generated in one line, so it can simulate some sort of snow maybe, but it can go also in direction up, and that's it. I don't know if I could go also. I want to just try, but I'm not sure if it can go in all direction. What happens? Let me put it into 100. No, maybe, yeah, yeah. Let me just try. This goes up, this goes up, this goes down, and okay, it goes in all direction. There are more going down than up, but somehow it works. Okay, and so this is how to generate this particle to the position and some direction, and from the origin or from a more random line of origin. So let's see how this works. Okay, I got these if you know pygame, this is the window how is generated, the while loop that generates the program, that makes the program go run infinitively. And when you press the quit button, it goes out of the loop and quit. Or I could have done something like this also to quit the but to use the quit button. Okay, and so maybe it's better this way. Then okay, then we have that when I press the key left, it turns off the particles. You cannot see them, and when it goes to the right, it turns on. You see here, when I press the arrow key, it turns on the next the next particle that is inside a certain list. The list of particles are shown with this generate, that for each particle in a group, generate particles and then draw them. And you see that it's called in here, it clears the window here, and then generate the particles. Then blit on the window, the surface Windows 2 where the particles are generated and splitted, okay, and generated, and then there is the clock tick, okay, and the update of the screen. Now let's see how the particles are generated by this thing here. So when you create the instance of the class, first thing that happens is that we create a particle list where all the particles will be listed. Then the initial position that is passed here, that you see comes from this one, initial position. Then we have the epsilon direction, so you can go up, down, or to any direction, up, down, all directions, right? And yeah, so then maybe something must be fixed. The color, and the color, it's here, and sparse, that means that it doesn't starts from just one point but from a line, so that it can simulate rain or snow, something like that, and turn equal off to see the particles on the screen or not. So after this happens, each list, each class, each particle class will be added to a list called group that is here. It's a global variable. So, and it will append each of these effects of this particle list. So here, for example, this is a particle list, this is another, and they all belongs to group. So I can iterate through them to look at them, to use them within this list. Okay, then we have generate particles to see what happens when we generate particles that is in here. That is, okay, as you can see here, for each particle in this group that contains all the particles, we generate particles for each group. It means that we have created the empty list. Now I'm gonna fill the list with this, and so we will have, let this apart for a moment. So we will have an origin of the particles, that is this self post 0 that comes from here, that we gave when we made the instance. So the first one will start always from each circle of the particle of that list will start from the starting position. So each one, as you can see here, each particle will start from here, then we'll go up here. So we start at the origin, it's this one, x and y, that in the first case it's 101, 200. So every new particles, because we will add a new circle, a new particle for each frame starting from this position, given this effect here, it always starts from here. Then we have the y direction, that it's how, if it goes up or down, and so we will choose the direction up or down or all, and if it goes up, the y there will be 2, because it will increase, because the in the window here we start from 0 here, and then we have +2 +2 +2, and we go up to 400. So instead, if it goes up, it goes -2. So it will start, for example, from here 400, and then go -2 to 0. And for each direction can go also on the other axis. We show later. Then after we have, okay, this is the origin position and the y direction. Then we have the x direction, because it can go also a little on the left or on the right with a certain angle with this. And then I reunited in these two variables. And so I can, then I choose the radius, that it's a random, the circle radius, so that it's bigger or smaller. And so I add all the origin to my particle list, the origin, the direction on the y and x axis, and the sides of the particle. And then once I choose these three things, I have to draw my particles generating the movement. Okay, um, I still do not draw, I just indicate what is the next movement of the particles. So here will be particle 0 will be increased of the 1 0. There is the x, it's this thing here. Okay, it's because it's particle 1 0 is this, the x there, and particle 0 1, so the initial position on the y-axis will be increased of the x there, of this one. So it will be this one plus this one and this one plus this one. So we'll have this new position. So the particle will be at the beginning, it will be here, then will be here, here, here. You see, if you follow one particle, it will go in that direction. And then there is the radius. There is minus 0.5. So if you can see here, you see that the particles slowly decrease their sides, and when they are the sides it's equal to 0, and yeah, it will be removed from the list, so that we don't have too many particles in that when we don't see them anymore. And now that we have generated the movement, so generated the new position of the particles, we are going to draw them. So if its self-turn is equal on, so if it's not on, we won't draw them on the screen. This turn on is used here. When I press right, it's on, and when I press left, it's off. So you don't see them when you press that button, arrow key. And so what happens, that for every particle in the particle list, this X, maybe we don't need it, we will draw a circle on the window 2. There is a surface that I've made here. It's not the main surface. On window 2, we will, with this color I chosen here, and it will be the particle. Okay, these are the coordinates of the particle. That it's x, y, and this is the radius. And so each time this particle will have a different position and a different radius. It will shrink and so on, and every time will be shown on the screen. Okay, all the particles will be drawn. Right. So once we set this, it's all good, because so for every list in that group of list of particles, each not list, each object, this R object that has a list, they will generate the particles, and then so create the new position and draw all the particles on the new position. And so that's all it happens to make these effects, all these circles generated and moved in the next position. Then the screen will be cleaned for a frame so that it won't leave a trace, because otherwise, if I don't clean the screen with this, we will have this thing. The particles will be drawn and they won't be deleted. Okay, making this particular effect. And instead, if I do clean the screen, the effect will be different. So that's all. These are particles effects, and with this class that makes you be able to make different kind of particle effects in different directions with this class. So you can maybe reuse this class for your programs, and see you next time.